life comes at you fast. And that's how I felt, and still feel actually, about trending books on booktok. Just because the trends move so fast, I feel like there was books I missed that people loved on OG booktok. And some of them have been sitting on my shelf since OG booktok. So today, we're about to start a reading vlog, and it's gonna be reading OG booktok books. The biggest OG booktok book that I have not read, that I'm wanting to read and have been wanting to read but have been very intimidated by, this is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I do own a physical copy. I'm not going to be reading the physical copy because I think that would stop me mentally. I would not be able to get through it. However, I have it on Kindle because it's on Kindle Unlimited. So I'm reading it on here. And by reading it, I mean I've read the first like 10 pages, maybe. Still don't even know what's going on, really. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue is going to be the first book out of all the OG booktok books that I'm going to read in this video. Like I said, I have been very intimidated by this book. I'm scared of it. Everyone says it's really good and slow and like kind of a character study maybe, and I'm afraid of all the expectations that have been put on it. Anyways, that's really all I have to say about that. Let's hop into a week of reading OG booktok books. Hello, welcome to like the worst lighting known to man. Sorry for that. I was just dropping in to say I am 20% of the way through The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and I have no thoughts yet. What I'm gonna do is put on ambiance on the TV, put on a timer on my phone for an hour, and I'm gonna read the book for an hour. I'm gonna pause it whenever I want to pause it, but I'm gonna read for an hour tonight. And then when I'm done reading for an hour, I will come back and I will update you on where we're at and what my thoughts are at that point. Because I have not gathered many thoughts at this point, except for the fact that I do really like the writing. I think the writing is really good. That's all I've got for you. I'm gonna start my timer and I'll be on my way. I'm here to announce the timer went off 12 hours ago. I fell asleep. Yep, I was asleep. I probably made it a half an hour in. I read to 31%, which is the middle of a chapter fully. It's so slow and nothing is happening, and it feels like the same thing over and over and over again. And so I'm struggling with that because it is just like kind of a slog. And I mean that in the nicest way possible because the writing is beautiful. But that's where I'm at. I guess once again tonight I will set a timer and do my bestest. I don't know, because I do want to get through this, but it's like a slog. I don't know. And I started another book that's not for this video because I didn't even want to read. Like I had a moment where I was like, I want to mood read. I don't want to read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. So I started The Serpent and the Wings of Night, or The Serpent and the Wings of the Night, whichever one it is. And now I just want to read that all the time. So that like really backfired. Like I don't want to read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue anymore. I want to read that. Great news from me. I'm equal distance through both books, which I sat down and read The Serpent and the Wings of Night like twice. And I somehow am still just as far through it as I am The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which I've been reading for close to a week, probably. So that's good. That's good. I'm not loving this, and I don't know if a lot of it was expectations based, because a lot of people have rated this book 5 stars, and I know that. And a lot of people have loved this book, and I know that. I'm not sure if like what's getting me is my own expectations or if it's just like really kind of, I mean, I don't know, a slog. I will come back and update you, of course, when I have more thoughts, if that ever happens, and when I read more, if that ever happens either. Okay, I'm back again. I can't catch you in the daylight or with the lights on, apparently, mainly because it gets dark early and it stays dark late. I was once again sitting here trying to get through some of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. And I'm just not into it. I hate to say it, I'm gonna DNF it right now. I am like not wanting to read. I don't want to pick this book up. I want to pick up other books. I want to do anything but read this book. And that's my sign for me that I'm like, okay, we gotta put it down because this is not working. So that's what I'm doing with that. I hate to disappoint, but that's getting set down. And then I'm gonna start something else. I did, like I mentioned, I think I mentioned this earlier, I am 16% of the way through The Serpent and the Wings of Night, which to me is kind of an OG book talk book. I honestly think I'm gonna continue with reading that on my Kindle right now. That's just like, I'm in a fantasy mood, and I don't know, I like Carissa Broadbent's like other series. I can't remember what it's called, but I like it. So I'm like confident that this one I will like and it will grow on me, and I'm interested in it and I want to know what's going on. We're, like I said, I'm 16% of the way in. I already have some suspicions, and they're suspicions that I don't want to, I wish I didn't have them, but I feel as though certain things are going to happen. I'm going to continue reading this. That's all I have to say about that. Switching books. I couldn't do The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. If that's your favorite book, I'm sorry. I'm not saying it was bad. I'm just saying I was not in the right headspace for it right now to read it right now. Maybe someday I'll circle back. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Hey, there's a lot of background noise because it's Sunday reset day, which is also the day I'm like most likely to pick up the camera, which is really annoying because I'm always doing laundry all day. But, so ignore that. We'll keep it quick here. I'm reading The Serpent and the Wings of Night. Is that what this book's called? The Serpent and the Wings of Night. I'm liking it. I'm not loving it. I'm very interested in the like male main character. I think his name is Rain. I like him a lot. I'm interested to learn more about him and see their romance. I don't know that I like the main character a whole lot, and I don't know that I care about the plot. And like I said, I think in a previous clip, I can sort of feel like what is coming. Like the foreshadowing is heavy. Okay, the foreshadowing is heavy. My goal is to read a lot of this today. My goal is to read for 2 hours today, hopefully finish this. I am 37% of the way through. I'm on part 4, Half Moon. I'm not quite understanding the like plot, I guess, because I don't think I understand these trials. Like, I mean, and I don't think this is much of a spoiler, but like there's these trials that they're doing, and I thought it was like, I just had assumed it was like Hunger Games-esque, where one person survives, but maybe it's just one person gets blessed by the goddess. I don't know, because I'm like, how are y'all 3 gonna be friends? But then only one person survives. So I'm confused. I'm gonna work on this today. My goal is to like get a lot of this video done this week, and like I do want to finish this book today, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't realize it was gonna be such a big series, so like obviously something is happening. And that's what I'm like having that's where all the foreshadowing comes from, because I'm like, I know this is not like a duology. Like I'm like, this is a series, this is a long series, I think it's still going. And so I don't trust her dad. Oh my god, I'm gonna lose my mind. I need to text CJ and ask why my camera's doing this. That's all for now, I guess. Sorry about the background noise. We'll see ya later with more updates. Hopefully no background noise in those updates. Howdy, howdy. The background noise is gone. Thank the Lord. I'm freezing though. And some may say, Isabel, your hair's wet, the heat's not on, your window's open, it's cold out. And to that I may say, yes, you are correct. So I was hopping on here to do an update. My goal is to read 2 hours today. I have read the first hour. Not gonna lie, when I finished that first hour mentally, I was like, we're done. But there's more. I wanna do more. I am now 50% of the way through this book. Or like 50, I think 57%. I'm loving the male main character. Carissa Broadbent in book Boyfriends, she does him right. Because Max Antarius, I would die for that man. Yeah, I would. And Rain, I'm getting there, okay? I'm getting there. So, that's what I'm loving about this so far. I'm frustrated by the main character, and I'm hoping it's an instance of she has maturing to do, and she will mature, and because this is a longer series, it'll just take some time. We'll see. I don't know where I'm at, like, rating-wise. I think right now it's sitting at like a 3.5. There's nothing wrong with it, but there's nothing about it that I'm like deeply obsessed with. However, as far as like first books in a series, like a fantasy series go, this could be a grower for me. Like I see a lot of room in this for me to grow and adore these characters and this world and all that. It's the next morning. I had to take like a lot of processing time actually, but I finished this book. I finished The Serpent and the Wings of Night. This book I loved actually. I think it was like a 4-star book for me. And I definitely see potential for the rest of the series to get higher and higher ratings, to be honest. I loved Rain in this, and I loved the last like 75%, no, the last 25% of this book. After 75% of the way through, everything took a turn, and this whole book there I am wondering like, oh, how is this gonna go? Like, how is this gonna work out? I don't quite understand. Like, and I mentioned this earlier because it's like, it was trials and I wasn't quite like clear on if it was like Hunger Games-esque where like only one person survives by the end. Meanwhile, we have 3 characters in here that I'm like rooting for. However, that was all worked out pretty well. The end was crazy to me. The setup for the second book, that's literally how I felt about that. The setup for the second book was crazy. I am wanting to read that so badly right now. However, we have reading to do for this video still. That's really all I had to say about that. I am gonna pick out another book tonight and start another book tonight and try and read a good like 45-minute chunk of that. It will be our 3rd book of the video technically, but second one hopefully that we'll actually get through and finish and not DNF. I wanted to hop on here and announce, this is not an announcement, I don't know why I said announce. This is the next book we'll be reading. This is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. This to me was such an OG book talk book. It's been on my shelf for so long because of that, and I still haven't read it, and people love this book. So we're about to jump into it and see what it's all about. As far as I know, it's like, okay, so it's like about 2 friends who come together to design a video game, I guess. And there's like a love story in that, and like, I don't know, it goes from there, I guess. All I knew was it was like a couple in a video game design situation. That's all I know about it. I do love this cover though. This cover is really iconic. I've got my tabs if I need them, my bookmark, and we're gonna get into it. Doing laundry. Don't mind that in the background. I say every video. Anyways, I am reading Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. This book caught me off guard. Let me start there. So I am 140 pages in, that far in, which is like a little over 25%. And I was expecting this to be way lighter than it is. It is heavy, it is real, it is thought-provoking. I was not ready for that. I was not expecting that. I'm not sure why I wasn't expecting that or ready for that, but I wasn't. That being said, I'm very intrigued, entranced, very into it. The concept is entirely new to me. I've never read a book about video game design before, and now I want to read more of them, to be honest. It reminds me of Check and Mate, not in like the content, but in the way that like it's a little window into like this whole other world that I didn't know a part of. With Check and Mate, it was chess. With this, it's video game design, and I find them both intensely intriguing. Check and Mate has nothing to do with this besides that, but I'm really finding the video game aspect of this book to be so intriguing. I'm like scared because I'm getting attached to the story and the characters, and it feels like something terrible is gonna happen at some point that I'm not gonna be really happy about. I'm at the point where things are ramping up a little bit and they're rising to some fame, and I can tell that's when everything is like gonna be crazy, because the pacing is a lot different than I thought it would be. I think this spans a lot more time than I thought it would. I thought it was gonna be like, okay, video game relationship at the same time, video game ends, book ends. No. They made their first game and that was the first quarter of the book. So there's 3 quarters left. So I'm nervous, to say the least. But I'm trying to read as much as possible today. It's Friday, it's Halloween. I have today off from work. I'm trying to use it to read as much as possible because I want to start editing this video tomorrow and then hopefully upload it this weekend or close to this weekend to stay on my November like filming and editing schedule. So basically all I'm doing right now is I have ambiance playing on the TV. I have this book and I'm doing reading sprints and taking breaks. And that's what I'm gonna do until I go crazy, basically, or until I really cannot continue reading the book. It is written really in a way I wasn't expecting. That I think is the biggest thing. It's written in a way I wasn't expecting. It's written very well and very, oh, there's a word for this that I learned in like high school English. It's like, I wanna say omnipresent. That's not the word. But like you're in all the characters' heads briefly and like it's like a narrator type of situation. And I really like that. It like goes off on a lot of random tangents and has a lot less dialogue and a lot less inner thoughts than it has like random tangents and random metaphors and stuff. But I like it. Though I understand why this was like a OG book talk book. You know what I mean? I understand why people liked it. Like it. Both. I want to go continue my peaceful autumn with warm jazz music, gentle rain sounds, and something ambiance that I have on the TV. And I'm gonna do more reading, I guess, or I might watch a reading video and then do more reading. I need like a little bit of a longer break than I have had already. But hello everyone. I'm hopping on here to let you know I did finish Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. Is that what this is called? Yes. I can never remember if it's Tomorrow, Tomorrow, and Tomorrow, or Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. And now I digress. Maybe it doesn't matter. So I finished the book. I did end up giving it 4 stars. I do understand why people do rate it 5 stars. It didn't give me a 5-star feeling. However, I did read it really fast. I did binge it and I did love it. I did love it. I think I said in a different clip when I was talking about it, this book spans a lot more time than I thought it was going to, which I actually appreciate. It was a lot more complex and deep and meaningful than I thought it was going to be. It was also more well written than I thought it was going to be. So on that scale, it really blew all those things out of the park for me. It did, like I said earlier, I'm just restating everything I said earlier. I don't have any new thoughts really. I just finished it and I probably need to like marinate with it. But I'm behind on my little schedule for the month of November. It's 2nd of November and I'm behind on my schedule for November. So I'm just gonna film this clip and end this video to hopefully try to get back on schedule. But all that to say, I have no new thoughts. I need to marinate with the book. To complete this video, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Stay tuned. I am gonna try, my crazy November schedule is because I'm gonna try and do a couple days of Bookmas. We'll see how that goes. But I really want to try to because it was a goal of mine to do last year and I didn't do it because I was afraid I was gonna fail. So I'm gonna do it this year. Even if I do fail, I'm gonna fail proudly and publicly and online. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good, so stay tuned. I have big plans for Bookmas. They're not that big. Don't get it twisted, not that big, but big for me. So anyways, if you could like, comment, and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. Comment down below OG Book Talk books you haven't read yet or if you've read any of these books and you want to give your thoughts down below, I would also greatly appreciate it. Toodaloo.